Welcome to Kathryn Raakers World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raakers World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raakers World, and let's just talk. I'm honored to have today Marcia Jones-Washington. Marcia's work in chaplaincy came a bit later in her life. At age 50, a turning point prompted her to prayerfully consider what she really wanted to do when she grew up. And discerning the call to chaplaincy led her to earning a BS degree in community ministry from Geneva College in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and an MA degree in pastoral studies from Loyola University of Chicago. To further prepare for chaplaincy and work in the ministry, she's going to tell us what she did and how she created a chaplains group that meets, I think, online, and she'll tell us all how they do it. And in 2022, Marcia founded PA Women of Chaplaincy and Pastoral Care and serves as a facilitator for its monthly online meetings. So welcome to our show. I'm so excited about having you. I don't know too many women chaplains, but it's pretty exciting to meet you today.
Oh, Kathryn, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be on and talk a little bit about chaplaincy.
Well, let's talk about it because I think it's important for people to know what you do and how you facilitate this beautiful work that you do. And I think that you're also working as a chaplain in another organization as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And what brought you to God?
Oh, wow. That's a lot. But
Right.
let's start with first with my current position. For 5 years, I was working as a chaplain from 2018 until 2023. In 2023, I made a little bit of a switch, and I was hired as a bereavement coordinator with a hospice agency. So that is still currently what I'm doing, is a bereavement coordinator, but still, having been a chaplain, I definitely see a connection there, because I still need to call upon things like compassion and understanding, and being an encourager when called for, things like that. So there's definitely, I see a bit of an overlap, let's say. But in terms of what brought me to God, well, that, like I said, that's really a story, but I'll try to do the what they would call the Reader's Digest version, or now they say like the elevator version. But
Right.
growing up, I definitely was in a home where my mom and I went to church most Sundays, if not every Sunday. My dad, not so much. But then once I got maybe around 17 or so, that rebellious streak, you could say, kind of rose up. And so then I thought, I want to see how the other half lives, those people that aren't in church and they seem to be having a good time, And so I did that until around 30, with the partying lifestyle and all of that. And then around age 30, there was a friend that had come back into my life, and he was saying, oh, there's this church that I go to. I really would like you to go with me. And I thought, I'm really not into the church thing right now. But he was somewhat relentless and didn't give up. So finally, I thought, let me just go this one time, then he can stop asking me to go. Well, that first time that I went with him, I don't know what the pastor spoke about or anything. I just know that I felt, this is where you need to be. It's time to come home, as they say, stop being that prodigal daughter and it's time to come home. And so I've been at that same church now where I was only going to go the one time. I've now been there for 35 years.
35 years, that's a long time. Did you marry this person?
No, he was just a friend.
Friend. Okay.
Yeah. And so yeah, I've been there for 35 years now, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad that I did decide to accept his offer to attend that church. And so yeah, it's been a great experience.
Well, God probably touched him on the shoulder and said, I need you to do me a favor.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Right.
He's kind
Right.
of like a little guardian. He was a little guardian angel for you, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I think it's so important that we get the message out now more than ever. The idea of bringing the 10 Commandments into schools to get prayer back into schools, I can't even believe it. There are Christians out there that care, absolutely care. And over the weekend, when we had the shooting of our former president almost being assassinated, this is when we need prayer more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And God saved him. His guardian angel was right there to tell him to turn his head. True?
It definitely seems that way. Yes. Yes. I mean, hard to attribute it to anything else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And the person that he picked as VP is from my state, Ohio.
Ohio, that's
He's a
right.
major Christian as well, which is
Yeah.
really good to know.
Yes.
So we really need to install God back into our lives. I really believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. But Kathryn, if I could just take a moment to touch upon this issue a little bit, um, because there are, schools that are asking for chaplains. I know in a few states, like Texas, I believe they passed a bill for chaplains to come into the schools. Florida was working on that. But and in my chaplaincy group that I've started, we have discussed this, and our the general consensus is that, for one, we feel it's important for people to know, because there is that concern, are we going to be preaching to the children or proselytizing?
No,
And no, but I was going to say the other thing with chaplains, we really are considered non-denominational. I mean,
that's
we're
right.
not to be going in preaching any type of specific religion or denomination. And so it would be there in the schools as chaplains more to assist the counselors, maybe school counselors, or be those extra listening ears, being there to like I said, comfort, to listen, but no, not to overstep
No,
and use that as a Sunday school, opportunity or what have you. No.
I have never thought of chaplains other than what you're saying.
Okay.
Because when we were overseas, we had chaplains that would come into the hospital, that would come into our lives. And it was really important. Even there are chaplains for racing teams,
Okay. Yes.
for motorsports. And they
Okay.
say a
Yes.
prayer. They say a prayer before they go out on that track. And I got
Yeah.
to know those chaplains. And that
Oh.
was unbelievable. So, I think it's educating people on what you do to get this situation changed. I mean, education is really important. And we want to, it's like the Constitution or anything else. If you don't know it, how can you really understand it until until you know it?
So true. So
That's
true.
true.
Yes. Yes. And yeah. It also depends with the chaplain, what capacity you are a chaplain. Like you're saying, there are those chaplains for race car drivers, which I didn't even know that until when I was considering becoming a chaplain. I rented this documentary called Chaplain, I believe, and it actually did an overview of different types of chaplains, whether, in a nursing home, those that are actually in the corporate environment, they can do that. Like, as you're saying, there can be, or we've talked about school chaplains. A lot of times those are more in the religious schools, but they are there. And then with me, I've worked as a hospice chaplain. And so there you are with hospice patients and, providing comfort to them, or a lot of times just seeing what's on their mind that they want to talk about. So yeah, there's chaplains in so many different arenas. And our work is to come alongside them and their families, individuals and their families sometimes, and just help walk them through particular processes.
Right. I've worked with hospice before with my mom, my dad, and a lot of my relatives. And having that chaplain there to pray with you towards the end, especially the end of their lives. My
Mhm.
mom waited till every single person was in the room before she died. We
Mm.
were all there praying together. And there must have been 13 people in that room. And it was like, my mom was like, you got to be here before I go, you know.
That's
He,
beautiful.
isn't that beautiful? And we all had gathered her hands and all of our hands around her. And the weird thing was, is God placed me in her room at the nursing home she was at all day until they all got there. When my dad passed away, he had hospice too. I walked out of the room. I couldn't deal with it. With my mom, I was right there with her. And
Wow.
I think that's such a beautiful chaplaincy, to be with that, because you're so close to God there. He's
Mm.
taking that person. And, I look back and I think to myself, I hope I know people will be with me, I hope, when that happens. And I think that's really important. You have chaplains from all over the country that belong to your organization, right? Or to the monthly thing that you do, right?
Well, not yet, unfortunately, but hey, we may get there because of the fact that we meet online. I mean, people actually, they can possibly join in from anywhere. What I found though, that a few times, or at least on one occasion, I don't forget what state they were joining us from, but because of the time difference, they said, this made it difficult for them. We meet usually one Tuesday or Wednesday a month at 6 in the evening, but whatever time zone she was in, she was saying it's around the time she's getting her dinner prepared and things like that. So, that can make a difference. But as I said, we meet once a month, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
And it's not a large group of us, but there's growth, especially in recent months, because people are beginning to refer. Some of the chaplains that have been in this group for maybe a year or so, they're starting to refer others, and
That's
they're
good.
joining in. So yes, I'm very excited about it, and of course excited about the conference
Kevin
that we're
Cruzy
having.
and
Mhm.
because the one thing that he's doing is he's really getting it out there. And I think you would be a welcome addition to their organization,
Yeah.
and to be participating. And they do things on Zoom, which makes it
Okay.
even better for you.
Yeah.
And I know there are chaplains. I'm not sure. I have to find out who the chaplains are for ARCA and NASCAR for you,
Okay.
because they have a chaplain in every one of the races. I can't even tell you how beautiful that is to see and
Mm,
experience, because you
yeah.
never know what's going to happen on that track, right? So I
Right.
think that's really important. Is there a book that you're writing?
No, not writing a book,
Not
not writing a
ready,
book.
right?
No, no. But if I can mention too, in terms of the chaplaincy, this online chaplaincy ministry, it is for women in chaplaincy, because it's called PA, or the website is pawomenchaplains.net. And
Wait a minute, start over again.
oh,
PA,
women, mhm,
women's.
womenchaplains.net.
.net. Awesome.
So,
I'll make
so
sure
not
that we
so
get
no S on the end of chaplains, but just PA Women
chaplain,
Chaplain.
women,
Net.
chaplain .net.
Womenchaplains.net.
Is
Uh-huh.
there an S on chaplains?
On
Yeah.
chaplains, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. Okay, but there's not on women's. It's just womenchaplains.net.
There you go.
And also, can you become a member if you're not in PA?
Yes, that's the important thing to know. I suppose when I started with this, I was thinking maybe a little small because, again, I realized being online, what difference does it make if they're in PA or, some other
Yeah, and you
state?
may eventually want to change it to Worldwide Chaplain.
Oh my, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay, I think that would be awesome because, I know a lot of pastors, I know a lot of different people, and I'd love to. Do you have a logo for your organization?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Will you send me that logo if you haven't sent it to me yet?
I can do that.
Okay, because I want to put you on our nonprofit and area, if that's all right. And are you a nonprofit?
And I haven't become a 501c3 nonprofit.
Well,
No.
we'll just put you up there anyhow with the logo and put your picture up there. And
Yeah.
you'd be the first women chaplain I have as experts on my shows. How about that?
Ah,
Could you handle
excellent.
that? Could you handle that?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know about expert, but,
But you know what? You have the credentials to do it. And I think that's really important. And it would be nice to have a bio about the group itself.
Okay.
Okay, if you could do that, and then we'll put that up there with it. And do you have a picture of everybody together or not?
No, we don't. I don't have one of those pictures.
Where do they go to find you?
They can go to that website, pawomenchaplains.net. Is it all right if I give my phone number?
Of course, I want you to.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, all right. They can give me a call, 412
What was that?
412
Uh-huh.
638
Okay.
0823.
Uh-huh.
And I would be glad to speak to anyone, about chaplaincy and, how to go about becoming a chaplain if you're not a chaplain already. And also with the name of the ministry, it is PA Women of Chaplaincy and
Okay.
Pastoral. Okay, I'm sorry.
PA. Go ahead.
Women,
Yeah.
Women of Chaplaincy
Of chaplaincy
and Pastoral Care.
and pastoral care.
So I didn't want to forget that part because there are women more in the pastoral care part. There are women pastors, sounds like what you're saying about your friend, and just in other areas of ministry. So we invite women in those various capacities, be it chaplain or pastoral care, spiritual care. I'm a bereavement coordinator, so even, bereavement coordinators, if you need a connection with others, you're certainly welcome to look me up or give me a call.
I want to thank you for joining me today on Kathryn Raakers World and Let's Just Talk. Can't wait to have you become a guest again. And we'll put all of your stuff up on there with all of your information so people can reach out to you. How about that?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And don't forget to go to our website at Kathryn Raakers World. That's Kathryn Raakers, Raakers, world.com, where you'll find everything about us. And thank you so much for joining me today.